Zoom class in person than it is to make an in-person Zoom.
Uh-huh.
So. More than mine.
Interesting little nothing about that house. No lockers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then my.
I think you are
Good
to go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're already screen sharing.
You are already screen sharing, you just have to drag.
Drag it over.
On this side.
last night. Because apparently their sellers were fighting. They were fighting. And he didn't know that anyone else know because he was afraid like the first. People might walk away because it was getting so much. And then we would have been, but they didn't, so. Shoot. Oh, are you wearing? Good. Oh, you wearing this? Did you give it and cut your hair?
No, it's just curly today, that's why it looks so short. This is the natural, what happens.
What's your desired destination for your hair now? You know, you put things to ChatGPT, put the picture in and say, show me what I look like, like. Longer years for their hair.
I've had very long hair at points in my life, and the last time I cut it was during COVID, because I was a nurse, you know, and I mean, you literally just can't help it, so it's like, that's the point. Right, you might as well have a huge short haircut.
Ready for scanning? Have my mobile device to full right. Thank you.
Yours is cute, short too, Lucas.
Have you been long hair in the past?
Oh, you don't want to see that. So yes, I have a long time ago.
Yeah.
Actually. I should ask Susan if she remembers, not because I had short hair when we were partners, but there was the like 10-year photo challenge, like back in like 2018 or 2019. My 10-year-old photo had like it was like Johnny Depp. It wasn't like
Yeah.
super long rocker haircut. But when I grow my hair long, I look old. And that picture was, I don't know, I must have been like 24, 23 or something, and I look older than I do now. So
Yeah.
it's just not,
Yep.
I'm not touching long hair ever again.
Right, this is really curly, and yeah. He had his grandfather's genes, his grandfather maybe had like 10% gray hairs when he was 80.
Really?
So he's got like really like dark hair, yeah, he's never gonna go gray. He's got like 2 gray hairs.
My mom didn't go gray so much older. But you let me know if I'm going gray. Well.
I have some will know, but it won't be us.
Yeah. It's a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Should we get started? It's 2 minutes past. Might have some folks rolling in. The feeling it might be a bit of a smaller class, but this is good. Because we get to be a little bit more hands-on. We have time for everything. For the folks on Zoom, looks like Colleen, Ashley, and Jenny. I was like, your name is your actual name, Jenny, on which I fail to pronounce every time, so I'm not going to try to butcher it again.
De Janita.
There she is. Eventually, I will be screen sharing. Okay, let me actually turn up the volume so we can hear you guys. Get yourselves out of the Okay. I think it should come through now. I don't know if it's going to compete with the music or not. But actually, let me grab Morgan and see if we can turn it off. Morgan, there's super. I want to turn the volume up just in case it doesn't work one side and off.
Which channels on the box itself. Right. Yeah.
Lovely. Now that my mouth full of food.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Now Zoomers, if you guys want to talk and you do unmute yourselves, we will actually hear it. So this class is called From 411 to Decision Engine. And it is a derivative of a breakout session that I taught at Family Reunion. For those of you that might not know, I co-taught a breakout session with a mega agent out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, named Jenny Volek. And we taught the class called Make the 411 Your Ultimate Accountability Partner. Now, if is anyone here a fan of the Pivot Shift Ahead group?
Yes.
Heard of it? Been on any of the calls? Yeah. So the 411 class that James Shaw had with Jenny has the most views on YouTube than any of their other classes. So check that one out. It's really good. Jenny and I think the 411 pretty much in the same terms. So if you want to check that out too, I'm going to be publishing a version of this class on my YouTube channel. If you want to check it out, it's realcoach.ai, all one word. It's actually the name of my website too, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Once I get a really, really good recording, which is like, this is my second time doing this iteration of the class. When I get a really, really good recording, I will put it up on the YouTube channel and then I'll email it out to everybody. Cool. So again, folks on the Zoom, I will be sharing this screen. I'm not going to be teaching directly to it, at least at this point in time, but when I do, I will be sharing it. And anything that you see me do on the screen or display on the screen, I will share at the end of class. So a lot of people, realtors love templates. That's what I found. We love templates. Like, oh, you showed me this really cool thing. Can I get your template? So yes, I will be sharing this template in a copyable format. Cool. Okay. So again, 411 to Decision Engine. Okay, I'm going to be kind of following this, but then you're going to see me go off script quite a bit. The key message that I want you all to hear is that most agents don't fail because they lack goals. Okay. Most agents are pretty good at setting goals. Actually, vision boarding is like one of our most favorite things to do if you've ever done vision boarding. Most agents don't fail because they lack goals. They fail because their goals never translate into daily action. And say that again, the goals never actually translate into daily action. So the common experience goes that we write our goals down, or we create a vision board, or we create a grandiose GPS, right? Build a 411, and then Monday hits and the week explodes. Sound familiar? Yeah. So if I ask something in confirmation, folks on Zoom, hit me up with like your favorite emoji or something so I know you're listening. So common experience, we build a great goal, we write a great plan, and then Monday hits and the week explodes. So how many of you have ever written a 411? Actually, let me start from the get-go. Raise your hand if you know what a GPS and a 411 is. Okay, so we got ish, most, Zoomers. You guys, give me like your thumbs up if you know what a GPS and a 411 is. Okay, I got kind of, ish. Okay, good. So I'm going to be breaking it down in the simplest terms to understand possible in this class. And that's what I'm hoping you guys take away from it, is that they're not designed to be confusing. They're not designed to be overwhelming. They're actually designed to simplify your daily decisions. That's what they're designed to do. Okay, so part one is building the GPS, and that's how I'm going to go right into demonstration mode. Zoomers, this is where I'm going to be doing some screen sharing. And again, rest assured that anything that you see up on the screen, I'm going to be sharing with you in the templates. Okay, so what you're looking at right up here is my personal template of what is the GPS. Now, GPS stands for what? Everybody know what it stands for?
Goals.
Yep. Goal, singular.
Plan, process, something like that.
Almost. Goal, priorities, and strategies. It's actually right up on the screen. You have your goal, you have your priorities, and you have your strategies. Okay. In old school KW speak, we used to call it a 1-3-5. You've been here long enough. You remember back in the days where John Davis was our president, the guy right there on the wall there, second from the right. we called it a 135 at the time. Now, it is shorthand for a one-page business plan. Okay? The GPS is the one-page business plan. Now, do you guys know what 411 actually stands for, besides the phone number you used to dial when you wanted someone else's number? Yes, I'm old enough to remember that.
4 things
Yeah,
that you do
me.
and 1 thing that you do.
Not quite, Lisa. So what it stands for is time frame. So 4 weeks in a month. It's actually a little backwards. It should be called a 114, but no one would remember that, right? So 4 weeks in a month, 1 month at a time, and 1 year at a time. Okay. The 411 is the tool that drives your daily actions. The GPS is your one-page business plan. Now, you guys tell me what makes more sense to construct first, a business plan or an action sheet? Thank you. All right. We're all following so far. You would be shocked at how many agents and people come up with what they need to do before they actually have a business plan or set their goals, right? It's like, if I'm like, I want to start running, I just go out and I start running and I run like 10 miles right off the bat. Now, maybe like if I haven't been training to run, I might have that like new energy and I'm like, oh, I can do this. But the next day, oh my God, I'm going to hurt so bad. My feet are going to be killing me. And then I'm going to fall off, right? That's the thing about when you hit it and hit it hard, like it's a brand new action without actually setting a goal and having a proper plan. Okay. So GPS stands for goal, priorities, and strategies. Now, you're going to notice in the format that I have that there are strategies that are nested underneath each priority. Okay. I'm making it this big on purpose so that we can actually like hone in and not see the entire thing at once. We'll have a chance to see the entire thing at once we actually author this up. So if the G stands for your goal, and we're all in the business of real estate, what do we want to make the goal? We're going to do this sort of in a live setting, so I can actually take out these things right here. It'll help with the learning experience. The goal itself is usually, most agents are going to point to like a goal in volume, right? And that's okay. So you're like, I want to do 5 million in volume. I want to sell 10 million in volume or 2.5 million in volume. That's okay. In my opinion, especially as a coach, someone who coaches teams all the way from folks that are bringing in 250 in GCI all the way to 5 million a year in GCI. Typically, a goal that's related to volume is only good for one thing, and that is accolades. Okay, so like the board awards at the end of the year, the top agents, right? And that's great if that's your thing, and I support that wholeheartedly. What makes it incomplete though? Can anyone tell me?
Why?
Okay, so it lacks purpose, right? Okay, were you gonna say something?
How much you really make.
Exactly. Who's ever done a deal with Ryan Holmes around here?
No, thank you.
No one has. So I heard a rumor, I haven't, but I heard that they only pay like a flat $2,000 no matter what the price is. This could have been years ago. I'm not sure how true it is, but what if a builder or a seller was only willing to pay that much? Would it matter if their home was worth $10 million? They're only going to pay you $2K?
No.
Okay, exactly. So, and then there's I coach this guy in South Carolina. You wouldn't believe what the builders pay. They pay higher percentages and then they pay incentives on top of that, bonuses.
Wow.
Yeah, it's out of control. I lived in any area like there or Florida, I would only sell new buildings. That'd be it. Even if it took 6 months to close, it's such high output. But I'll digress from there. The point is that a volume goal is great. It's a little incomplete. I prefer to encourage agents to have goals that are in GCI numbers and or in unit numbers. Okay. So let's just all pick for context purposes. Somebody give me what either their goal is or somebody else's goal might be either in units and or GCI.
200,000.
Okay, 200,000 GCI. So that's what we're going to put up right up at the top. Okay, if you want to, then you can also say, well, what's your average commission? To $250.
250,000.
Okay.
Oh,
Average commission.
I,
Okay, so it's 250 times 3% then, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know why I'm doing it. 7,500. So 7,500, so 200K divided by 7,500 is how many units? 7,500 is 26, round up to 27 units. So if you want, you can also put in for visibility, units closed, family served, whatever that might resonate with you, right? Great, so now we have our goal. Okay, we've completed the G, awesome, right? Now we have priorities. So you have to put things in order of priority, yes or no? When you have a goal, you have to prioritize certain things. Okay. Now, I think that there's a lot of debate out there over whether priorities should be pre-written or priorities should be authored by the user. My opinion is that if you leave too much up to choice, sometimes things get confused. Okay. So my recommendation is always when you're authoring your priorities to use the MREA models of leads, listings, and leverage. All right, I'm going to pull up the chat just in case anybody on Zoom is asking questions. Okay, Zoomers, I'm going to monitor the chat here and there, but I'm going to, like, just full disclosure, I might miss something. So if you have a question, you can put it in the chat, but it's best just to unmute yourself and speak. So, anyways, so I was at priorities, order of priorities, leads, listings, leverage. Okay, so leads being priority one is, in other words, your client acquisition strategies. So I like to say client acquisition because it sounds a lot nicer than lead generation. If you've ever taken a class from me before, you've heard me say that. Lead generation makes most people's skin crawl, and client acquisition, even though it means the same thing, just sounds a lot nicer. So your strategies around client acquisition. You'll notice on the left-hand panel that I've filled in some things over there, meaning you'll see database, proactive database marketing. Okay, those are the different types of lead generation. You have prospecting and marketing from MREA. That's why I have that on there. Okay. Now, regardless of what category your strategies are going to be in, what you need to understand is that a proper strategy that is nested under each priority must answer certain questions in order to be complete. In the case of client acquisition, what I want to know as a coach is, what is the thing that you intend to do? How often or how frequent do you tend to do the thing? Okay. And how much of it are you going to do? Okay.
Repeat that.
Yeah, sure. If you're taking notes, it's
Yes.
what is it, how many, and how often. What, how many, how often. Okay, so can somebody give me an example of at least one lead generation strategy that they might be doing right now?
social media.
All right, social media. Now, let's distinguish what part of social media. Who said it? Okay. Are you social mediaing to your friends and followers or to everybody? Or to both?
Mostly friends and followers.
Perfect. So that might fall under, in my opinion, database marketing. Okay. It's not, yes, it's proactive in the sense that you actually have to film it, right? But it's marketing because you're putting something out there for others to see with some, MOFers, CTAs to get them to come to you. Okay. It would be like putting a billboard in everyone's yard.
What's a CTA?
Call to action, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so a call to action. Okay, so social media. Okay, great. Now we have what is the thing. Now let's answer how much of it and how often.
5 times a week.
5 times what? Let's get a little bit more granular.
5 posts
Okay,
a week.
what type of mixture of posts?
Some personal, some business.
Okay, are we talking video reels? Are we talking about static posts? Are we talking about stories?
all of those.
Okay, so 5 posts per week, mixture of biz and personal. That's what makes it to your database, right? If it's a mixture of business and personal. Yeah. Were you at family reunion?
No.
Okay. Did anybody watch Gary Vanderchuk's?
Yes,
Oh.
we watched.
You watched on YouTube?
I just heard it this morning with Jason too,
Awesome.
and he would say that's not enough.
Well, he would say that's not enough, right? But he also doesn't post anything personal, right? It's to each their own. It's the strategy that you're going to do and be most consistent with is going to be the best one.
I think he said 7 different media.
There's 7 different platforms,
Platforms.
right? And he also says multiple handles. That's how he puts out 400 pieces of marketing a day. He also has a team of 22 people.
Right, yes.
Yeah,
Doing
so-
it, yeah,
Let's not compare ourselves to mutants.
it's a full-time job.
Yes, it is. Yeah, well, each one of those 22 people have full-time jobs.
Yeah.
And multiply that by, 50, 60 hours, however often they're working. So 5 posts per week, a mixture of business and personal, right? And so we have the what is it, we have the how many, and then we have the how often, right? Are we missing anything? Maybe, and this doesn't need to go here, but maybe if you had a database marketing, if I was coaching you, I would say, let's offer up a database marketing playbook that says exactly what or options that you have to post per week, like maybe a content calendar might make sense. So I would even put see content calendar. Embedded in we'll just put in social media playbook. Okay, so we're getting really granular here, and this class is not about offering up a full marketing playbook, but you see the gist. Now, is that clear to you? Are we clear on that? Perfect. Somebody give me something else, maybe something that is proactive, database driven, that is like a common thing.
Can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
Social media playbook is the one that we have here?
Oh, okay,
Or
so
are you talking about one that?
no, yeah, the MREA playbook, the volume 3 MREA playbook, that's not what I'm speaking about. What I'm talking about is if you were running your own social media play and it was a big part of your lead generation plan, I would recommend that you make your own playbook that you can reference. Say, all right, am I following this to a T? And if I am, how is it working? What are the results? What do I need to change about it? Okay.
I would say directly reaching out to your database.
Great, awesome. Okay, so database reach out. We'll just
Yeah.
we'll just call it, as a SOI outreach.
Mhm.
Just for language better. Okay, so we have the what is it, how many and how often.
My goal has been to schedule 2 coffee dates a week with people I haven't seen in a while.
I love that. Okay, so 2 coffee dates. Where that's a strategy in and of itself. Okay, so we're gonna take this out and we're gonna say coffee dates with SOI. 2 per week. Okay. Can I coach you for a moment?
Yeah.
Okay. How many weeks in a row have you hit that 2 per week?
0, because people have been sick or traveling.
People got
I've
reasons,
done
right?
one, pretty
Yeah.
much 1 a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
People got their reasons.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'd recommend even doing here is putting a build up to 2 per week.
Gotcha.
If you hit 1, that's what your consistency over quantity every day.
Mhm.
Okay. Now you can mix in affiliate partners. Affiliate partners and B2B contacts are part of your sphere of influence. Just a little side. Okay. Okay, so let's just say that was only one part of the plan. And we also wanted to do so PC controls. Okay. We also wanted to do general SOI outreach calls. Here's another example of how to answer the questions. Ready to know what DTD2 means? Okay, so again, it doesn't matter if it's a care call, a seasonal call, such as it's Q4. What happens in Q4? Holidays. Happy holidays. How are you doing? How's your family? What can I do for you? Quarter 1, it's a new year. Hey, how you doing? How's your family? What are your real estate goals this year? Are you planning on making any upgrades to your house? How can I help you? Right? So even if it is a seasonal outreach, if you are, another example of database proactive / database marketing would be client appreciation events. Okay, some teams do them once per quarter, some teams do them every 6 weeks. Some folks are gonna do it once a year, twice a year. That's an example of proactive database outreach. Okay. Okay, are we getting the gist of the what is it, how many, and how often? Okay, for the sake of time, we're going to, or as we scroll down, we're just gonna do like one strategy nested under each priority, and then we'll keep moving, just to get the gist of how to put this together. Okay, so if we scroll down, you're gonna see the second priority is listings, your client's experience. Let me make it perfectly clear. Listings, as we're defining it here, does not mean how to go and acquire new sellers. That is under lead generation. What I mean when I say listings is your clients, once they have chosen to work with you, whether they are a buyer or a seller. Okay, even in the MREA book, it says, is it a buyer listing or a seller listing? What they're insinuating is that there's a contract, there's an agreement to work with you and you exclusively, whether they're a buyer or a seller. Yes? Awesome. Okay, so the second priority is the experience that you give your clients once they've chosen to work with you and beyond. So there's a lot involved there, meaning all the stuff that is in the pre-listing process, pre-buyer process, right? During the listing, during the buyer looking for a home, through contract to close, and then everything that comes post-closing. That is your client's experience, right? That's the experience they're receiving that leads to them giving you great reviews, bringing you referrals. Okay, question on clarity over the context of the client experience so far. Okay, awesome. You'll see I have some things already in there. Now, to get proper strategies, you also have to answer the same questions. What is it, how many, and how often? One quick side quest. You'll see that there's spots for 5 strategies nested beneath each priority. That does not mean you have to have every single blank filled out. Be perfectly clear, you have to think in terms of scale. Consistency beats quantity and even quality every time. Okay, so if I was coaching somebody and they were having trouble making like 2 to 3 strategies consistent, I might coach them to focus on 1 until they increase their consistency score. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. Moving on. Okay, so you still have to answer the same questions though. What is it, how many, and how often? Oftentimes, the how many and how often is based on a milestone, right? Or based on a due date. Okay, so you need to answer the question in the context of what the strategy is. So if we look at the first strategy I have up there, which is get 1 5-star review per closing. Is there anything that I left out? What is it? How many? How often? Due dates? Milestone dates? What did I leave out?
How many?
Well, it's 1. It's 1 per closing.
How to achieve that, like. How to get
Okay.
people to review you for 5 stars and where? Like,
That's gonna be a strategy.
Great point. Yeah, that's going to be like in a separate document, like in a playbook,
Yeah.
right? Or an SOP, right? What we're just trying to figure out is what is the raw strategy? What is it? How many? How often? Details about the what, how many, and how often can live somewhere else.
Okay.
But remember, this is a 1-page business plan.
Oh, gotcha.
If it is more than 1 page and you went and you brought it to Gary Keller and he told you to bring you a 1-page business plan and there was a back of it, what do you think you'd do? He would say, yeah, bring it down to 1 page. I've heard him say in the top 100 masterminds that he will reject anything that's more than a page. Anything from his team brings to his office, He goes, no, get it down to one page. No, get it down to one page. But it can't, just get it down to one page. He'll just say it over and over again. So you make a great point. The details can live in maybe an SOP manual, okay? You know what SOP means? Yeah, good. Exactly, step by step, standard operating procedures. It details everything out. Okay, so get 1 5-star review per closing. And honestly, here's what's missing from this. I'm gonna give myself some feedback. It's the by when. Okay, I would say by 3 months post closing. Again, I don't know how realistic that is until I put it in practice. In theory, it's realistic because the goal here is I would want it at the closing table. Especially if I'm one of those agents that still goes to closings, bless your heart if you are, bless your heart if you're not. I would have a QR code ready to go once they've closed. And I would sit there on the desk and I would say, just scan this. I will leave the room if you just be completely honest. I want to know what I did to earn your 5 stars, right? So that might be a goal of mine to do it, but then I'm going to give myself a tolerance of up to 3 months post closing. Okay. The other one here is the promise. Now that, yes, that's a lead acquisition strategy, but it happens once. If it's a referral acquisition strategy, yet it happens once the client has decided to sign with you, then it's a client experience strategy. Okay, it's a little guardrail that I don't have written anywhere. Okay, because yes, it's our goal to get referrals from our database. But if it's in the window of time from the moment that client signs on the dotted line to the moment that they close, you're giving them the client experience throughout that entire time. Okay, that leads down the road to more referrals. Okay, is this making sense? Another example might be milestone check-ins. People love to know what's going on, and they hate it when you leave them in the dark. Yeah. So when they go under contract, they want to hear from you, especially during that lull where nothing happens. Bank's taking care of everything, the attorneys, the titles all taken care of, and then there's just like 3 to 4 weeks of just like nothing. They still want to hear from you. Okay, that can be another example. But how often, it's going to be like, okay, milestone at the point that the milestone happens, CSOP, or once a week, whichever is more frequent, right? That would be an example.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, making sense.
Yes.
Any questions? Any questions from the Zoomers? I'm going a little bit slow today, guys. I don't know that I will be done with everything at the 45 minutes, probably at the top of the hour. Okay, is that okay? Is anyone have anywhere to go? If you have to duck out, it's totally okay. Okay, down to priority 3. Remember, it's leads, listings, leverage, right? So priority 3 is leverage. Your plan to scale who, or because of tech. It's not just who, not how. It could be what, not how, right?
Mm-hmm.
My brother texting me all the time, telling me how Claude has just taken over his whole life. You know, and I'm like, I can't get on Claude right now. You know what the AI model that I'm most obsessed with right now is? Notebook LM. Notebook LM is another product from Google. It doesn't scour the internet. It scours what you tell it to. You upload documents. I don't have much time to go. I've done that side quest. But it's basically like you create your own intelligence. It's like you can make an encyclopedia built right into it. It's pretty sick. Okay, so leverage your plan for scale. Now, I wanted to use a real life example. What position are we all in? Are we all solo agents here? Nobody on a team, right? Okay, so solo agents. Does anyone have an assistant? You have an assistant. Is it someone, how much do they work for you?
As needed,
Oh, it's as needed.
Yes.
Okay, you pay them like per job?
yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, that's an example of scale, right? Lisa, can I pick on you? Okay, so your goal to 250 this year or 200? Okay, perfect. Now, are you intending to do that all on your own? No judgment.
Yes.
Okay, great, perfect. So no transaction coordinator, 26, 27 units is doable, just you, right? Oh, you're doubting it a little
I'm
bit.
doubting, yeah.
Okay, go on, say more.
Well, just first quarter has not been, would not support that for the rest of the year, but.
First quarter's results?
Yeah.
Okay, no big deal.
So I just
We can
had
work with that.
2 transactions.
Okay.
first quarter.
Okay.
Um. So it's probably a very, very lofty goal.
Well, without making this like a full-fledged one-on-one, we don't need to go down that road. What I would say is, let's speak in hypotheticals. If your present pipeline was supportive, even if you've only closed 1 in Q1 or 2 in Q1, right? But you have a lot in the top of the funnel that you've confirmed motivations and confirmed timeline, right? So that's what I mean when I say supportive pipeline. So your pipeline supports the goal. They just are taking their sweet time, right? And your strategies are working. You can see that. So hypothetically, if that's the case, right? Doing 27 units on your own without any admin support is going to be hard. I would say it's going to be hard for anybody. Remember, we don't compare ourselves to mutants. Okay, so and I hope you know I'm joking, like the X-Men type of mutants that have all special powers, right? That's what I mean. So we're not going to compare ourselves to them. So if that was the case, would it make sense to hire leverage at some point in time this time of year? Okay, so let's just say, well, I have up there hire EA by Q2, right? So this is where the how many and how often might not make sense. So you have to when it doesn't make sense, you have to insert the other question is by when. You can answer that. You can answer by when up here too. Look, it's by the end of the week. 5 posts per week by the end of the week. Hire an EA. How many? What is it? It's hire an EA. How many and how often? It's 1, and it's 1 a year. That's how often, but it's by when, by quarter 2, right? In your case, it might be hire a virtual assistant to handle my TC work only, right? To write contracts for me, right? And it might be part-time, right? 20 hours a week, virtual assistant. If what I'm asking them to do, a very well-trained monkey could do, then anybody that has a few brain cells and has an aptitude for training, they can handle, right? So that's in its simplest form. Now, leverage comes in more than one form. It's not just people. Yeah, right? Okay. So because it's not just people, we can also say, well, what is it do we want to leverage? Maybe what AI tools do we want to leverage? If we want to scale, do we have to write out our SOP plan, right? Do we have to write out all of our SOPs so that when it does come time to hire a person or hire technology, that we can do that easily, right? Okay. Is this all making sense?
Leverage could even be like hiring a cleaning lady,
Oh,
right?
heck yeah. I often say, the amount of money that I pay my executive assistant, which is not much, I could have a cleaning lady at my house twice a week. I could even have her doing laundry. But I don't know why. All right, awesome. We're going to move on to the 411. Is that cool?
Yes.
All right. So now we have a good grip on our GPS. Again, why do we do the GPS first? Because the plan comes before actions, right? So now we go to the 411, okay, which again has these controls, guys. There we go. Okay, which has, you can see, has several parts. It has the yearly goal, it has the monthly goal, and it has what you take action on. Okay, so what you take action on, yes, it's supposed to be divided into 4 weeks. I coach my agents to take their taking action into the daily when they have capacity to. Okay, and there's a reason why. Because when done properly, this 411 is supposed to tell you exactly what you need to do today in the present moment, right? It is the one-way road to perfect productivity. Okay, because you have to ask yourself is whatever you need to take action on at the present moment must achieve the goal or get you closer to the monthly goal. This monthly goal must get you closer to the yearly goal. Okay, so now let's think in terms of our examples that we had on the GPS. What was Lisa's goal?
250,
Oh.
GCI, 200.
200K in GCI. I thought it was 252. It's okay. You also notice that there's two sides. We're only going to worry about the left side today, just for the sake of time. But the right side is for personal goals. And I love coaching my agents to their personal goals because especially when they're physical health leads to strong mental health, leads to strong business health. Always remember that. Okay, you'll notice that there's three categories or three rows beneath each annual and monthly. Why do you think that is? What else is there three of?
Leads leverage.
Yes, there's three priorities. Leads, listings, leverage, right? So the lead solves the yearly goal. Okay, let's all agree to that. The second priority, though, is the client experience. Now, how can we translate that into a yearly goal? How can we quantify that?
Be specific on the
Keep going.
percentage or the number.
Okay. I think what you mean when you say that is how many leads are we getting from the client experience or how many referrals, right?
Yeah.
It could be something like that. That's actually what I encourage. If you're like super review based and you know that's going to lead to more referrals, you could also put, I want to get to X number of reviews. Okay, I got a review guy in Sioux City, Iowa. It's up to like 600 Google reviews. It really helps his algorithm, right? So you could put something like receive. We know that the goal is going to translate into 27 units. So we could put something like receive 10 out of 27 closings from direct client experience referrals. Okay, does that make sense? So that means referrals that happen during the transaction. That's the best time to get one. And then down here, again, now we're on the leverage part. Let's just say our goal is higher EA by Q2. That's going to translate right over here. Now you have the strategies, what you're doing, what is it, how many, how often. That's all going to be right here, right? But now we need to turn this into chunked down goals down to the month. And then we need to turn it into weekly or daily action. Okay, so let's just say we're in this month. Okay. Lisa, can I pick on you again since we used your GCI goal?
Sure.
All right. So we know your reality. Reality is you had 2 closings in Q1. Does that change the goal? Let's just say no. Say we're going to keep the goal the way it is. All right. I love it. Now, what is a result that would make you happy in the month of April?
4 under contract.
4 pendings. Love it. 4 under contract. 4 under contract. That is a result. Yes or yes? That's a result. Yes. So it's not an activity. That's a result. Annual and monthly need to be results. They need to be endpoints. They need to be the milestones. I've achieved X. Right?
Did you go to April because we're
We're nearly in
into
April.
April? Okay.
It's the last week. We're business planning for April right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we want to achieve 4 under contract. What do we need to achieve this month to make receiving 10 closings from direct client experience referrals easier? Where do we need to get to? What milestone must we hit? First, we need to examine our present reality. Do you have an SOP manual written out yet? Just say no. Okay, no, we don't. Would it help the process if we wrote out an SOP manual for that process? Okay, so let's say by the end of the month, manual for client experience referrals fully authored. Does that make sense? Okay, that is a milestone that gets us closer to here. Clarity is power, right? Okay, higher EA by Q2. It's Q2 next week. Okay, so it's by the end of Q2. If you were an agent that needed to do that, but you didn't have any candidates yet, and you didn't understand the CV process yet, what might be a realistic monthly goal, monthly result that would get you closer to hiring that EA?
Identify who might be possible.
Okay, identify. I'm gonna help you out with that. Let's say build a pool of talent. You need the pool of talent.
Sounds the same to me.
Yeah, but before you can identify who is talent, you need a pool of talent first, right? It's like when you list that property for sale, you need a pool of buyers. You can't identify who's the best buyer until you know all the buyers, right? Because if you only went after one, are you gonna get your seller the best price? No way, right? That's why coming soon listings are BS. But that's the only thing I'm gonna say about that. I think Susan and I are on the same page with that. I don't want to speak for her, but we were talking a little bit about. All right, cool. So now let's translate this into taking action. Okay, taking action. This is what I consider to be the gospel according to Coach Lucas. Taking action should be and should only be between 1 and 3 things. In the spirit of the one thing, i.e. the book by Gary and Jay, okay? You can have as little as 1, but never go above 3. And even if you have 3 actions at a time, there is one primary objective and the other 2 are supporting objectives. So let's just pretend that we're agent A, okay, that needs 4 under contract this month. They need to write a manual. They need to begin writing a manual and begin building a pool of talent. What is the one thing such that if they did it today is Thursday, that would make everything else easier or unnecessary? Everyone, give me your answer. We'll pick from the best.
Contact,
time to do it.
I have one.
contacting,
You already have time to do it, by the way.
Oh, okay.
You already have time. Your calendar's clear.
Yes.
Right?
contacting her, so I, with your April, messages, starting out.
Okay, that's gonna feed the top of the funnel though. The goal is to get under contracts. The goal is not to get more buyer seller listings,
Okay.
right? So the monthly goal is to get under contracts. So you're on the right track, but who is it that we should contact if our goal is under contracts, for our goal is pending? Buyers that what, are already signed, they're already listed, okay, so that's where we're getting at, okay, good. So let's just make believe we have a very supportive pipeline of the goal. That means we've already had buyers that maybe a bunch of them we've already met with that are kind of running dry. And maybe we've met with some but aren't signed yet. Okay, let's just say we got a decent pool, okay? Would that primary objective support getting 4 more under contracts? It may, okay, good. Good. What might support it more?
They actually get their offers accepted.
Not in control of that.
Right.
All right, taking action. Quick side quest. I keep looking at my watch. Because I'm worried that we're going overtime. I need you to stop.
Don't worry,
Okay.
okay,
All right, cool. All right,
well,
we can go OT if we want. Because we're getting granular here. This isn't just me presenting. This is us doing this as a group. That's why I like small classes. Okay, so if where were we? Help me get back on track.
action,
Yeah, what do we need to do to get 400?
Or under contract, right? So we want to contact all the buyers in our pipeline, or are there maybe some, you were in, so we gotta get offers accepted, not in control of that. So quick side quest on taking action. And if you guys are, I see everyone with pen and paper, perfect. Write these words down and circle around all the words. My thoughts, my feelings, and my actions. Great, now draw a big circle around all of that, okay? Now, where does getting sellers accepting my buyer's offers, is it inside the circle or outside the circle?
Well, part of it might be inside because your actions to help them get pre-approved and to help them to coach them.
Qualify, is to qualify, get them to be competitive? Is it possible that someone could be more qualified and more competitive?
Yeah,
So is it inside or outside that circle?
that's it.
It's outside that circle, that's right. Okay, so that circle is your circle of control. That's your mindset right there. Okay, like I said, it was a quick little side quest. What we want to put up here are only things that we are in control of. Okay, and how that's why it's called taking action. So your thoughts, meaning your focus, okay, your your feelings, right? Your inner state, and your actions, which is your behaviors.
So for that taking action, would it be to narrow down the clients that you know need to be somewhere by some time?
Yes. Reach out to highest urgency buyers today. Schedule showings. Urgency is related to their time frames, right? We have buyers that have leases that are ending, they want to be out of their in-laws' houses. Those are the highest ones. They have strict timelines, right? Those are the ones we reach out to today. Okay. Once we have done that, what actions can we take that would support the goal? And this can be any one of these three goals. Okay. Sometimes building a pool of talent might take the back burner today. That's why it's every day. Okay. Might take a back seat for the day. Because I'm sorry to say, these don't matter unless I can achieve this. Yes or yes?
Right.
Okay. So the supporting actions could still help us achieve this goal right up here. Okay. But it doesn't have to. It can support any of these goals. So you guys give me one more supporting action, then I'll give you a last one.
I mean, on the listing side too, if you have people that are ready to list, like.
Same thing.
Get them moving, see
Okay.
where they're at, get them ready to go.
I like that. To highest urgency sellers who needs their photos scheduled. Right? Okay. I'm going to put one more as it relates to other things. Ask my TL, who in the MC loves the ops side of the business over sales.
Translate.
Operations.
Okay.
Ask my team leader, who in the market center loves the operations side of the business over sales.
Oh, to get you to the.
In conjunction, communicate to that team leader that your business is building fast and you're going to be looking for an operations manager at some point in quarter two.
Okay.
Right? So your employees, your team members, they're most likely going to come from two primary sources. Your market center, okay, or surrounding brokerages, and or your sphere of influence. Ancillary, they might come from job sites like Indeed, ZipRecruiter, LinkedIn, etc. Okay. So that's just the lead domino as they say in the one thing. That's a lead domino activity. Okay. Because that could take care of everything. That could knock the rest of the dominoes down and you could meet somebody awesome, take them through career visioning, and that would be it. Right. But that's the beginning of building a pool of talent. Okay. Questions on the 411?
Well, what if on the second point there, it's a buyer and not a seller?
Oh, I mean, you're in the same action, right? So it's the same action. You're reaching out to your highest urgency clients, whether they're buyers or sellers or both, right? And you're making sure that they're on your calendar, right? You're making sure that they're not missing a beat. Who here's ever reached out to a buyer or a seller and like that it's been a lead in their pipelines and they've said back to you, oh yeah, thank you so much for reminding me. I gotta kind of do this house thing. Right? Has that ever happened?
Yeah.
Happens all the time. And then we're of course like, wait a minute, this is such a big move. How could you have let this slip to the back of your mind? It's creative avoidance. That's what they're doing. It's up to us to say, hey, look, I got you. Okay, I'm your partner in this. We can do this together. Okay. Any other questions on the 411? Okay. I'm gonna just very briefly run through. Let's just say it's my goal because, guys, I know I look really fit, but I'm a little overweight right now. Lose 20 pounds. Let's just say right now, lose 20 pounds, which is actually my goal, right? I'm 210. I want to be 190 again. I do. So lose 20 pounds, monthly goal. I'm gonna say C. This is real. These are actually my goals. So C Garmin challenges. I wear a Garmin watch, I have a Garmin app on my phone. I sign up for challenges. They're running miles and biking miles. And my goal for the month is to always achieve those milestones. Super easy, right? Okay. My action for today is, because my calendar's all over the place, my son's in baseball, right? Is
Oh, that's
14.
not the baby. Oh.
not the baby. The baby loves baseball too, though. He freaking loves it. So I might be coaching fall baseball, and he's gonna be the bat boy. I already can see it. So calendar out all my runs and rides for the 2 weeks. That's realistic because I don't know what's happening out after 2 weeks, right? Does that make sense? So you see how I reverse engineered? This is the goal. This is the monthly milestone. I already know what the monthly milestone is. I don't need to write it down here because it's in my app. Okay. That could be similar to, like, there's calorie counting apps, right? Like there's one called Lose It. I've used that before. It's like, see Lose It goals. That's all I'm writing now, right? So just check Lose It app. And then what does it look like taking action? I calendar things out. Now, when this is done, I might not need to do anything else. It might just be follow calendar. Okay. Quick side quest on this 411. You're going to notice that call my DTD2s is not on here. Make 10 contacts a day is not on here. Okay. Now I'm going to explain briefly why these are not on here. Do they help achieve these goals? Yes or yes?
Yeah.
Yes, they certainly do. Now, those that are calendared events or habits might not live on the 411. Might not. Okay, may not. I'll explain the scenario as why when they might, right? Here's why. Name something that's a habit. Brushing your teeth. Doing the dishes. Do you put that on your 411? Okay, it's because it's a habit. It's ingrained. After dinner, dishes go in the sink, you wash them, put them in the dishwasher, and that's it. Till the next day. It's a habit. You do it. Well, most of us should. Same thing with brushing your teeth. It doesn't live on the 411. Now, when you're trying to establish a habit, do you guys remember the tool that the one thing tells us about?
Time block.
Okay, time block, but go a little bit deeper, right? It's a 66-day challenge. Okay, the 66 came from the study that they did that a habit can take anywhere from 30 to 100 days to form, right? So the 66-day challenge is a supplement to the 411 that if you're not making 10, 20 contacts a day, even 5 contacts a day for your real estate business, we have to establish that habit, right? If clients that I coach are not doing that right now, I'm not going to put it on their 411. I'm just going to put in, might add an extra line up here, something like this. C 66-day challenge, RE 10 contacts. That's what I might put up there for them because that tells me how to follow up with them, how to hold them accountable to it. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so things that are or ought to be habitual, everyday parts of our business, they need to be on the 66-day challenge sheet so that you don't need to refer to a 411 to do that thing. Okay, any other questions regarding the 411? Cool, all right, we're gonna move on to the AI component of this. Yes?
Cool.
All right, awesome. So, favorite LLMs of choice, whatever you are is your favorite, use that one. I'm using Gemini because we get the pro version with our KW logins. Okay. So the thing that I'm going to deliver to you guys has these two templates, and it also actually has this document that is an instructional prompt, fully engineered prompt document. Meaning, have you ever heard anyone say your skill level with AI has all to do with how you prompt it, or some iteration, some variation of that?
Yeah.
Right? Because if you prompt it at a low level, it's going to give you low level output. Right? So I've pre-engineered prompts that you can just copy and paste. You don't have to think too hard. So first thing I'm going to do to make AI my partner in this is I'm going to download these. So file, download, Word doc, current tab. Okay, 411. Beautiful. Oops, that should have been named the GPS. I'm going to download it again so I don't have to go in and rename it. So GPS. So name it what it is. Name it GPS, name it 411. We're going to hit download. Oops. Word document. I'm doing Word documents because AI reads Word files the easiest. It does not read PDFs very easy because some PDFs are image based, like you can't select the ones that you can't select and copy and paste the text. AI has a really hard time reading those because it's like if it's 200 pages long, it's like 200 images. Okay, 411 current tab, and then this is the 411. Yes, replace it. Okay, cool. Then come over here to this tab over here that says prompts. I'll let you guys read all these directions. I wrote them, so I'm not going to read them. Okay, I'm going to copy this prompt right here. Oops, Command C. Right over to Gemini. Oops. That's not what I wanted to do. Copy. And then, as the instructions say to do, we're uploading these two documents to it. So you're telling it you're the strategic coach. You're treating these uploaded documents as the primary source of strategic truth, any advice, and it's saying read through thoroughly and do nothing else. It's doing that on purpose so it doesn't get out ahead of things. Okay, and it says back, I've thoroughly read through blah, 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 blah. Okay, it gives example prompts, right? But I want to put in one that I've engineered already. And I'm really interested to see what you guys think. I'm going to put in this one right here. Act as my real estate business coach using the principles from the One Thing in MREA. I've uploaded my GPS in 411. My GPS defines blah, 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 blah. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to actually fill this in. My GPS defines my long-term goals and priorities. Here's what actually happened this week so far. And we're going to describe what went wrong, what changed, or what disrupted the schedule. Who can give me an example of what might happen during the week that might disrupt the actual schedule, get in the way? In other words, we say, okay, this was your goal, this is what you're supposed to take action on, what got in the way? Who can tell me a common example of things that might interfere with us achieving our goals?
You got
My-
sick.
My kid got sick.
My kid got sick. Was that Jenny? Thanks, Jenny.
Yes,
I got sick. My kid got sick. My dog got sick. My car broke down. My roof blew off from the hurricane. Help me. Okay, so insert whatever you want, right? So we're going to highlight all this. Now I have a feeling what it's going to say is going to kind of cut us a little slack, right? But you can play around with it. If my current behavior appears misaligned with my GPS priorities or with the MRA principles, challenge my thinking and explain why. And this is going to be interesting. I really don't think it's going to challenge it. Because it'd be like, all right, look, life happened, right?
Yeah, you can tell it to not be so nice to you and just.
Oh, yeah, you can be like-
Great, right?
Like, hey, be David Goggins to me right now. Call me names. It's probably not gonna do that.
Be tough.
I'm sorry you're dealing with a literal and figurative storm right now between your health issues, and the roof is completely normal to feel fragmented. However, as your coach, we need to apply the one thing filter. By doing what would everything be easier or unnecessary in the midst of your chaos? Based on your GPS and 411, here's your strategic realignment for the remainder of the week. Okay, your 411 explicitly lists reaching out to your highest urgency buyers and sellers. Call your top 3. The why. These represent your shortest path to the 400 contracts. It even knew what UC meant. Look at that. I didn't even have to write it out for the month. Okay, supporting actions to salvage the week. 66-day challenge reset. Look, it did. The thing about the 66-day challenge, it's written in the book, the one thing that if you miss more than one day, reset. It's not a reason just to shut everything down. It's time to reset. Right? And it even says this too. You make at least one contact to keep the habit chain of your 66-day challenge alive. Leverage your team leader, right? And it goes on and on and on. I won't read everything here. Delay, ignore, delegate. That's from the 4Ds. Do, delay, delegate, or delete. Ignore means delay, I would imagine. This is fantastic. I mean, I tested these out, obviously, but I'm always shocked at what it's actually going to put up. So, thoughts, feelings around this? Oops. I'm going to put my
I
insert.
feel like this is, second class. Not second class, meaning lower, like,
Oh, you want to go in depth with this?
like.
Yeah.
This would be.
This would be a good second class, 100%. Yeah, it would. It would. But agree or disagree. It's okay to disagree with me. Understanding the framework of the 411, the GPS and the 411 needs to come before you ask AI to help you with it.
Right.
Okay. That's one of those things. I'm glad you agree with me. Understanding the context and the frameworks behind the tools is better than just asking AI to say, help me craft my 411 and GPS. It's not gonna know, it's gonna draw things from the internet. Remember, AI scours the entirety of the internet. We know how contradictory it can be, right?
Yeah.
So we have to understand the frameworks and how authoring it ourselves gives us full ownership over it. And then we use AI to be our coach around those things, right? Okay, awesome. Real quick, shameless plug. Okay, I'm actually working on an app presently that does all this stuff for you. It's pre-beta, so I can't even test it. I can't even demo it for you. This is what the landing page currently looks like. Now, in my survey, there's a link to join the waitlist if you're interested. So this is just what the landing page looks like, so that if you do decide to join the waitlist, you'll know that you're actually you're on the right page. And then I'm going to put a little pop-up that say, hey, change it to light mode if you want, if that's a more pleasant look.
You're developing this app yourself.
Yes, I am. Yes. Yeah. Now, just to be clear, I'm not going to claim to be more talented than I am. I don't computer code. Okay. I write spec, there's specifications, and then I have a development team that turns that spec into computer code. Okay. So if you're interested in joining the waitlist, I'm going to be putting it into beta, which means I have 10 people that are going to help me test it over the course of the next like 6 weeks or so. Excuse me. But when it launches, you by joining the waitlist will get early access to it. Okay, so for all of the Zoomers here, I'm going to paste this link that is to my survey into the chat box. And for the non-Zoomers, you can scan that QR code. I would love it if you can give me some feedback on the class. So I'm going to leave that up there for you all. And would love to leave the tail end of this class open for ahas and Q&A. Let's hear your ahas. What did you take away from this course?
So I've heard this explained before, but I feel like the way that you explained it was the most practical for me. It like resonated with me more about like, okay, yeah, but show me how you do it, you know?
Yeah. Live demonstrations,
Just
I feel like
very-
it's
yeah.
what's missing from the way most teachers are explaining it,
Mhm.
right?
Yep, it makes a lot of sense, because, and I'm sure this happens to a lot of people, they wanna overcomplicate it.
Yeah.
Or put a ton of stuff in it and not have it be one page.
You're telling
And
me.
be like, jam everything that you wanna do in there, you know? But,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, 100%.
this helps, yep.
Good. Any other ahas?
I think I've always felt like I need to do everything myself. I don't wanna pay anybody to do anything. My husband puts up my signs. I now feel.
Built-in sign installation. Yeah.
Yeah,
Lexi helps you with a lot of your, social media, doesn't he?
he used to,
Oh, okay.
he doesn't as much
That's old news.
anymore. He's busy, but,
He's got things.
yeah, but I run things by him, and he's my sounding board, it's my conscience. But getting to double my GCI, I would really need to leverage. And I.
Look at
really,
that,
really
unintended
follow-
consequence of this class opened you up to leveraging more, right? Yeah. Well, in fairness, you need a pipeline that supports your goal, right? Until your pipeline supports your goal, your only job is to build that pipeline.
Right.
So if I was coaching you, Lisa, I would say the only thing that needs to be on your 411 is C66-day challenge of making 20 contacts a day. There's one of my coaching colleagues nearly exclusively coaches people to build their real estate portfolios, their investment portfolios. She said something in her class, there's not many problems in any facet of real estate that 20 contacts a day cannot solve. So, I mean, if I was coaching you, that's all I would do. That's all we would be doing. Okay, any other ahas? Zoomers, you guys are quiet, yet I'm grateful that you guys are here. Do you have any ahas or questions about this course? Thank you all for staying overtime with me too. This has been great. Okay, nobody's here. Okay, so if you guys could please fill out the survey. Please fill out the survey for me. I'm looking to get feedback, and joining the wait list is easy. We will not spam you, I can promise that. I'm in charge of the email outreach. So anytime I see spam going on, I shut it. Well, there won't be spam. I write the copy for all the emails too. And then my VA designs them and makes them look nice.
I'm officially on the wait list,
Yay, congratulations.
early access.
Yes, you do.
And how do I switch it from white to black to white?
Oh, I don't know how it looks on mobile, to be honest. I know how the app looks on mobile.
Looks like this. I mean, it looks just like the screen, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't see,
It might not be on mobile. We even had we were playing around. My dev team and I were just goofing around one time, and we put a music button on it. And because we were channeling our inner video gamers. And anytime you hit pause in a video game, there's like this music that happens. Sometimes it's really good. And I'm like, guys, why don't web apps have background music? And so we put a little button on there, and we put some just lo-fi beats just going on. But then it started to make the whole app lag. And I'm like, just take it off. Take it off. It's interfering with user experience. Let's not even do it. So actually, since this is a small group, do you guys like light mode or dark mode better?
like,
I'm better.
I like the dark.
My eyes are kind
And-
of sensitive.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
So, yeah, no, I'm asking because I'm wondering if what should be the default setting. We'll have a little pop-up when the app goes live. There'll be a little pop-up that says change from light to dark mode. We're here. Cool. Okay, cool. Any final questions? All right, Ashley Clark says dark mode is clean. Yeah, all right. I was going for a matrix theme, but then I also threw in the Tiffany blue in there as well. Now, any old schoolers remember the original Matrix and how cool it was when that came out, when that movie came out. So
Yeah. Cutting edge.
very cutting edge. All right. Thank you all for being here. This was a pleasure to be interactive, even though it took a little longer. So really appreciate everybody. Sign up for the waitlist to learn more. A lot of what I went over is like, how do you solve the problem of the complexity of it? A lot of what we went over in this class, I'm attempting to solve through this app. So I'm attempting to resolve not just the complexity of the GPS and the 411, because copyright, I can't call them that on here. But I'm trying to solve the complexity of realtors making daily decisions. That's my whole goal with this app, is simplifying daily decisions for real estate agents.
Thank you.
All right, cool. So if you fill out the survey, I will have that's the only way I'm going to be able to deliver the templates to you is if you fill out the survey. I will see your email in on it and I will forward it to you guys.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
You are so welcome. Thank you, Jenny, Ashley, and Colleen. Really appreciate you all. Gonna end this session, at least on Zoom, and we'll be good to go.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you too.